From nocturnal feeders to things that lurk beneath the surface of the water, we're getting crabby. Because did you know we have an incredible diversity of crabs around our coast? We've got 65 different species, and they come in all shapes and sizes and have all sorts of fabulous names like hermit crabs, shore crabs, swimming crabs, Chinese mitten crabs, some of them are called, spider crabs, decorator crabs. So fabulous names, but let me tell you, their behaviour is even more fabulous. I mean, these are things that you might find when you're rock pooling and you might look at them and marvel, but let me tell you, when you hear some of the information we're going to give you now, you're going to marvel even more, because some of this is mind-blowing. Lucy Lapwing's here because she knows a lot about crabs, and you're going to tell us about, I mean, my goodness, I mean, this really is extraordinary behaviour, isn't it, of a crab that is very common and easy to see.
It is indeed, yes. Are you ready?
I am. I'm strapped in.
So, in this tank here, we have the European green crab. It's quite a little one. But this, as you said, is one of the most common crabs that you see when you're rooting about in rock
there
pools.
There it is. We've got it on our macro.
Yes. Can you see the little beady eye? Oh, they're just so sweet, aren't they? So, yeah, when you lift up rocks, you'll often see those beady eyes poking out, taking a look at you, and then they scurry down and burrow, shuffle themselves into the sand to try and hide away. But they're also one of the most commonly predated crabs that you see. So when I'm walking around on the beach, you'll see these carapaces, things like otters and things, all sorts of things like to scoff green crabs. They're a very popular food item. Now, what I do like to do when I am rock pooling is pick one of those crabs up and look at the underbelly of it. It's always good to just have a little bit of a closer look. I mean, you can see that one there just having a dig.
Yeah, we're getting a really good view of the crab there.
Really, really good.
Oh, there's the
beady
eye. Oh, beady eye.
Fantastic.
That is a really fantastic beady eye, isn't it?
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're funny, funny things. So, yes, when I'm finding one in a rock pool, I'll lift it up, have a look underneath, and there's something in particular I'm looking for. Now, I have a photo to share with you. This is one I saw last year, and you can see there on the underside, it's that bright orange mass. It looks quite bizarre, doesn't it? Well, that's a female shore crab, and those are her eggs. So she can carry up to 185,000 of them.
And can you find that quite easily, Lucy?
Yes, I've seen it quite a few times, so it's, you know, it's easy to spot, but that's not what I'm excited about. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Right. So I said quite a lot of things predate shore crabs, but what I want to talk about is something that parasitises them. And I do have a prop to explain this, so if you would do the honour, Michaela, and hold up
a Lucy Lapwing made prop,
yes.
Another beauty.
Now, I have something on a stick. What do you think this is?
And I reckon that's a larvae of something.
You would be right. It's actually a barnacle, even though it looks nothing like what we think a barnacle should look like. This is known as the crab hacker barnacle. It's quite
and that's what they look like.
That's what they look like in reality. Tiny, tiny little things. So if you imagine them, they're much smaller than this in reality, floating about in the ocean as larvae, as plankton. And what they'll do is they'll swim around until a female one of these larvae encounters a green crab, and at that point the hacking begins. So she will burrow her way into the exoskeleton of the crab, establish herself in there, and then she's got to start to develop and grow. So if we peel this away, we can see the inner workings of the crab here. Now, all of these reddy brown tendrils, these are these root-like tendrils that the barnacle spreads throughout the crab, so she'll grow and grow and grow into the legs, into the organs, into every bit.
That's extraordinary.
It's amazing. So
oh, my word,
at that point, the crab is officially hacked. She is in control. So she can not only absorb all of the nutrients that the crab eats for herself, but she can control its behaviour as well. So she's effectively like a barnacle puppet master.
That is just quite... I mean, that's the mind-blowing bit, isn't it? But it gets even more mind-blowing than that.
Even more mind-blowing, believe it or not. So she will live in there for a while, the barnacle. She'll keep growing and eating until she's ready to reproduce. But as you can imagine, that's quite hard to do when you're something that lives inside something with a hard exoskeleton. So she's got a very clever way of making sure that she can reproduce. Now, Michaela, if you'd like to do the honours.
OK.
What she will do is, if this should work... Ooh,
look at it work, yay!
In rather swelling, atrocious-looking way, her ovaries will erupt out of the abdomen of the crab and swell in this way. So you can see now they're dangling outside the crab, and a male barnacle can come along and mate with her. So we do actually have some footage of this, I think, some amazing footage. This, for me, is the stuff of dreams, Michaela. When I turn a crab over one day and I see this erupting out the bottom, that is a good day for me.
You see, you're wonderfully nerdy, Lucy. I love it, because that's not what I want to dream about, let me tell you. But it is amazing.
It is.
So what happens? So that's a female crab, isn't it? So
Yes.
what happens if it's a male crab?
Well, this is where it gets even more mind-blowing. So if that larvae swims along and encounters a male crab, she'll still hack it, the barnacle will still hack the crab, but she has to make sure that she can still reproduce. So she'll not only make the male crab behave like a female, but look like a female as well. So it'll even tend to that barnacle's ovaries as if it was looking after its own young.
So it castrates the male?
Basically, yeah.
And what happens to the crab afterwards?
Well, it can live for quite a long time. I mean, the crabs are a little bit more susceptible to predation. They're a bit slower because they've got a giant barnacle living inside them. But as I said, they can live for up to 3 years. So if that cycle completes once and the crab's not been eaten, the barnacle will just reproduce again.
It's an extraordinary story. I mean, it is the thing that nightmares are made of, isn't it? And I'd love to know how anyone even found that out. Who was the first person that actually found out that that's what's happening to these crabs and these barnacles?
My hero, I think.
Thanks ever so much, Lucy. I mean, that really is a lot of science to get your head round, isn't it? And as I say, it's absolutely mind-blowing. And it's incredible, isn't it, what secrets can be revealed if you know where to look.